Morning. My name is Rondalla Positive, and I'm really, really grateful and honored to, just share with you guys and to be spending some time to encourage you as you prepare for your examinations. I call my few moments with you examination blast off. I call this a blast off. And I just wanted to share a couple study tips that worked and has worked for me. Um, One thing that is certain is that so I am a believer in God. And even when I was in high school and I was not Christian, I'm telling you, I was not Christian, but I grew up with my parents, and my parents taught me about believing in God. So I am going to start with what I really believe worked for me, other than just doing practical things. First and foremost, I remember that I would pray at every examination before I begin the examination. Remember, I wasn't Christian. I was a troublemaker at the time, but I would remember to pray because my mother always tell me to pray and believe in God, and God will help me. So that's one. My first thing was I prayed, and I really did pray. And even in examination situations where I would meet upon questions that might have, I never remembered responses, I would take a few seconds to stop and pray about that question. And maybe I moved on and then I come back, and sure enough, I found out, I found an answer, you know. So that's the first thing I will encourage every one of you to do. Why? Because you are connected to God, even if you're not Christian. Why? Because you carry His image and likeness. All right. So outside of that, let's go to some practical things. Uh, Studying, how I studied was I loved marking things. I love marking things, and I love rewriting things. So for example, formulas or definitions, I would always write, underline, highlight, and then I would rewrite. I would rewrite them on study cards, right? And after rewriting them on study cards, I never swat them. Don't swat. What I did was I would read over, and I would make things, put things in my own words. So therefore, even if I forget a word, the whole idea of what I have studied would actually um, be with me still. So one, I underline. I love underlining, and I love rewriting. I rewrite formulas and definitions and important terms. I rewrite those things, and underline and highlight those things. Another thing I liked doing is that I am easily distracted, so I never studied when anybody was around. So normally I would go to bed like say 7:38. I would force myself to go to sleep so that I could sleep, and when everybody is asleep, like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I would be up studying and going over the material. Um, because in that silence, I was able to absorb more. So I want to encourage you. I don't know if that is how you study, but there are so many distractions now, you know. Um, Back when I was a student of high school, or separate from now that I'm an adult, and I still study, by the way, but I do not get distracted by technology, the phone. Why? Because you can be studying and messages coming in and they become distracting. So therefore, turn off your phone. Turn off your phone. And if you have to use your phone for instance, to help you with research and so forth, I encourage you to put your phone not on vibrate, but put it on silence, so that you and turn off all your notifications, so that there are no distractions. There are no distractions. All right. Finally, in preparing for your examination, um, speak to yourself. I would tell myself what I'm going to do. I would tell myself that I am grasping this thing. Speak to yourself. May sound like I'm crazy, but I'm not. Speak to yourself. um, repeat, repeat, keep repeating. Many people don't know, but it is repetition. It is what you have repeated that becomes habit, and it is what you have repeated that sticks in you, right? Also, if you can make songs with your formulas, with your definitions, with your explanations. If you can make songs, make songs. Let me tell you something. Songs work. Even as a teacher, while I teach, what I do is that I make songs, and my students will be in the middle of an examination, and the invigilator has to be telling them to be quiet. Why? Because they're either humming or silently singing that song to get the answers on the paper. So make songs. All the songs that you listen to, why do you think that you know them? Why? Because music gets into your subconscious. It goes beyond just your sorry, it goes beyond just your short-term memory, but it goes into your subconscious. So make songs with your definitions, make songs with your explanations, make songs with your formulas, and yeah, you're on your way. So my name is Rondall Positive. I hope that a couple of those tips would actually help you in preparing for your exams. And I want to speak over you for your exams. I declare over you that you will do well. I declare that everything that you study that will come back to you. I declare that even the practice questions that you would have been practicing, I declare that strategically, God will make you and your generation successful by allowing that which you have studied to be what comes on the paper. Enjoy your examination. Do not get nervous and frightened. You can do this. You've got this. Enjoy your examinations. And I look forward to hearing about what happens on the other side when you are done and those results are coming out at the end of uh, of August. Much love, much appreciation. Thanks to Mr. Johnson for doing this for the kids, and for doing this for the nation and for their generation. Blessings and much love.